What's the hidden reason why we sympathize with Omar and Ander's drama so frickin' much?
¿Entonces qué? ¿Follamos?
Admit it, these two characters carry most of the series' drama on their backs. But how did Aaron Piper and Omar Ayuso create their convincing and touching romance? Let's talk about the actors first. Omar Ayuso is openly gay. His social network accounts are full of, let's say, explicit content. Some of his posts have even been banned by Instagram. Talk about modern standards. Interestingly, the conflict that his character went through with his religious father was completely different to what the actor experienced in real life. So how did Omar approach the role? Simple. The secret is in the method acting. Ultimately, everything you put into a character is yours. You can change the context, change the name, change the people you interact with, but in the end, all the love, all the hate, and all the fear you put into a character, it's the hatred and fear that you have inside. Makes total sense. Now, Aron isn't that open about his sexuality. Yes, he is super private about his personal life. Fans totally speculate and gossip about Aron's sexual identity, but hey, that's not what we do on our channel. What we can say about Aron is that he's a very sensible and attentive actor. And here's a crazy fact for you. There's a parallel universe where Ander was portrayed by a completely different actor. Why? Because originally, Aron wanted to play Samuel. Yep, he even auditioned for the character, like twice. While the production crew didn't see him as Samuel, they really enjoyed his acting. So they offered him Ander's part. They called me and said, "You strike us more like an Ander." They said to come on in, and that's where I met Omar without knowing much more. The two were a bit nervous about how it would work between them. Kissing someone I can't stand would be unbearable, Omar recalls. Did you feel that tension? There's no way you didn't. It took time and effort for both actors to make their sweet chemistry work on screen. In an early Elite promotional interview, Aron and Omar shared that, at the beginning of the show, they would spend lots of time rehearsing before actually filming those romantic scenes. We were a group of inexperienced kids. Before we started shooting the first season, we spent a month together in rehearsals for several hours a day, and they didn't work too much on the script or on the scenes. Nope. Aron and Omar concentrated on constructing the souls of their characters, inventing their biographies, phobias, and fetishes. And most of those materials were left off-screen. Wow, we definitely need a spin-off about that. Those rehearsals helped Aron and Omar to break the ice and develop their on-screen romance. Though as the show progressed, we saw even more intimate scenes. Yep, we're talking about the sex scenes. In an interview, Omar shared how he was confused preparing for the scene where his character comes to visit Ander after a rough patch in their relationship, because everybody on set was talking about some sock that he needed to use during the shoot. What sock? Oh, the one that Omar had to stuff his pants with for this particular moment.
There's no one else above us.
Yep, that's a behind-the-scenes secret to filming intimate scenes on Elite. And despite being only confused, both Omar and Aron constantly broke character, laughing out loud while shooting such moments, or saying lines like this.
No vas a saber por qué es lo de 19. Porque no es mi edad.
Yeah, the sweet couple is pretty dirty-minded. But the secret of their success isn't only about lust and 18-plus jokes. There was something deeper about Omander that made fans fall in love with them: the story conflict. The screenwriters have brilliantly invented dramatic tension and hid it into the series. Sometimes the conflict was pretty small, you know, just to tease the characters and the viewers.
Me suena tu cara. Pues a mí la tuya no. Andrés, ¿has dicho? Ander, Ander. Tú Román, ¿no? Andrés, ¿en serio? Samuel no sabe lo mío.
But even the smallest teasing things were metaphors to something bigger. The idea of this particular scene is simple. Omar needs to hide his sexuality, while Ander doesn't. The conflict is really strong right from the first season. Omar comes from a Muslim family where the head of the family, his father, is perhaps the most homophobic man in the world.
Pero no podemos estar juntos porque su padre es un puto cavernícola.
Well said, Ander. And despite how strongly Omar wanted to be with his beloved, he was terrified of disappointing his father. You can see Omar's inner conflict really well in the store scene. Ander came to find out why his boyfriend wasn't responding to his text messages, finding Omar almost paralyzed because of his father's presence.
Omar, por favor. Por favor. No puedo.
Que tengas un buen día.
Chao.
This piece is less than 20 seconds long, but it contains the whole drama of Amander's relationship in Season 1. Elite's writers tried to make the conflict stronger by adding in the fact that Omar is a drug dealer, and that Ander's parents are strictly against their son being into dope.
¿Quién te vendió la marihuana que tenías en tu cuarto? ¿Se llama Omar?
But for us, this storyline wasn't strong enough. It didn't truly escalate the conflict, but rather exploited the forbidden topic. Because, you know, most parents would be against their kid dealing illegal substances. What indeed escalated the drama was Ander's father's obsession with tennis.
A lo mejor puedes pasar a la historia por ser el primer gay en ganar el Roland Garros. Piénsalo. Seguro que hay 1000 sponsors que estarían encantados de patrocinar a un chico guapo y gay.
Wow. This man can easily compete with Omar's dad for the Father of the Year award. Omar's sister also escalated the conflict. Well, at least at first.
Escucha, si vas por ese camino vas a tener que romper con mami y con baba. Con todo lo que se han esforzado por nosotros.
When even the person closest to you judges you about your way of living, it's tough. All of the above made Amander's drama work in Season 1. We truly wanted Omar and Ander to be together despite all those insoluble obstacles and to gain the love they both deserved. They were almost like Romeo and Juliet, right? And that's why it was so satisfying hearing Omar finally confess his feelings.
Te quiero, joder.
Cabrón. Han tenido que matarme para que lo dijeras.
Gosh, we love Ander's brutal sense of humor. Of course, Omander couldn't live happily ever after. Else, there would be no need to make other seasons, right? So the writers did their best to develop drama later in the series. Sometimes the conflict was built up weirdly, like when Ander behaved like a total asshole, pushing Omar away in Season 2. Most fans were confused by that storyline, saying, why would he treat someone he loves like that? Of course, it's a rhetorical question, and it's not that simple to answer, but we'll give it our best shot here. The thing is that Omar was finally able to express his sexuality.
Cerrar, venir aquí corriendo a buscarte y darte un beso delante de toda esta puta discoteca llena de gente es la cosa más fácil que voy a hacer en toda mi vida.
And on one hand, Ander appreciated that and still loved him. But on the other hand, he missed the old Omar. Now, we're not trying to justify Ander. He definitely behaved like an asshole in Season 2. But our point is that he had his own inner conflict that pushed him to do that. Luckily, Ander realized what an idiot he was being and apologized.
Y al único que trato como una mierda es a ti. Porque sé que haga lo que haga, siempre vas a estar ahí. Y te empuje lo que te empuje, sé que vas a volver. ¿Me perdonas?
Aw, that's sweet and funny. Of course you will. Though things really escalated later in Season 3. Yes, we're talking about Ander's cancer. This storyline still remains the most emotional one of the whole series. Cancer and chemotherapy resulted in Ander's behavior changing. We understand that Omar was pushed away once again by his beloved, but don't you think that cheating was, a bit too much? For us, Omar's betrayal was completely out of character. I mean, come on. Omar would never do that. He would never turn away from his beloved who was dying, right? The Spanish screenwriters probably just wanted to add even more drama to this, let's say, unbelievably dramatic situation. So, yeah. That's how the cheating storyline was invented. Anyway, the finale was incredibly touching. When Omar realized what he had done, he decided to stay in Spain to take care of his man. And that's when one of the most tear-jerking scenes of Elite took place.
No pienso separarme de ti, porque te quiero, gilipollas. Te quiero y en todo este tiempo no he dejado de quererte ni un solo día.
Pues no hace falta. Estoy en remisión, me lo acaban de decir.
Simply love this moment. To sum up, we'd like to say that despite there being some weird script decisions, the overall story of Omander is truly honest and deep. It represents gay love without holding back. It doesn't shy away from speaking about important topics that a lot of other series are afraid of. More than that, Omander's love story reminds us of another important thing: to embrace ourselves as we are. No matter what happens, life goes on. And in Ander's words,
pero quiero que sea la mía la que sigue, la que yo decida.
If you're a fan of Elite, then check out these videos too. Hope you enjoy them, folks. Thanks for watching and take care.